Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Trina, and in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you guys my TBR for the month of May 2024. Now, I did upload a video like a while back wherein I have shown a bunch of books that I wanted to read for quarter 2 of 2024. However, somehow I wanted to do a monthly sort of situation now that I am much more in my reading era. So at first, I was easing into this whole reading situation, reading around 3 to 5 books per month. So during that time, it was more convenient and efficient, I guess, for me to make videos on a quarterly basis. However, the month of April, which I happened to read around 16 books and in the middle of 3 more ongoing, I decided to just do this in a monthly basis. And so that is what we're going to do today. So I do have a list to decide here for all of the books that I want to read for the month of May. And I do have 3 here in front of you because these are the only physical copies that I have that I want to read. So we're going to start from here. So we're going to begin with this one, which is The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Other Stories. This is the copy that I bought. This is a cheap copy wherein I plan on when I bought it, I planned on annotating in it and such, and I have actually finished with, let's browse through the table of contents here. I have finished Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, The Merry Men, and also Markheim. So I still have 4 stories in this book before I could call it done. However, there is this weird situation wherein I have both Goodreads and Storygraph. Actually, I made a Storygraph account just today, so I will leave those down in the description if you want to be friends. I will accept anyone who sends a request. But both Storygraph and Goodreads don't have this particular edition of the book. This is Rupa Classic Library edition. Rupa Publications India. They don't have this particular copy or this particular edition, and I asked someone who wants to track their pages. This is 340 pages for this whole book, so I decided to just chop up a bunch of different editions. So I found in Goodreads an edition of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with the Merry Men and some of the other stories that is around 250 plus pages. And then I found a Markheim copy edition, wherein it is 55-ish pages. And then another of Olalia, which I haven't read yet, this one, which is around 30-something pages. So I totaled up all of the pages of that edition, or the 3 different stories and books, and it totaled at around 340 pages. So my count for how many books I read in the whole year might be bumped up to an additional 2 because of the separate short stories editions. But in my physical copy, it's just 1 book. So I think I'm going to go with that. Well, a very long explanation to a very minimal or a very small issue when it comes to tracking your reading. Next we have here is my new copy of Vengeful. This is kind of a bit beaten up actually, but I have just finished Vicious. Really loved it actually. I'm going to talk more about that in my April wrap up, and it's probably the very last one that I am reading for the month of April because it's the 30th today, and I don't think I can finish any other book this month. So we're going to start Vengeful later because I really want to start it just after that whole roller coaster of emotions when it comes to Vicious. I am not one for superhero books, comic books, and superhero genre, even with anime or movies, but somehow the way this is written is kind of a bit exciting, and I'm very curious about it. So if you don't know what Vicious is, this is this is Vengeful. The first book is Vicious. They are part of the Villains supposed, I think, trilogy. I don't know, but it's the Villains series. It is about 2 college students who are having their thesis, and one of the 2 roommates have a thesis about the extraordinaries, or the EOs that they are called. They are your typical superhero in the making people, like what makes a superhero. So that is the research of one of them, and the other one has to do with like adrenaline and like your fight or flight experiences, impulses and such. And it's very interesting. Not only it was like whether there is really darkness in superheroes and also goodness in supervillains, and what really makes a good thing good. It's sort of like a complicated situation there of morals and character, and also like a mix of like psychopathy and also god complex. And I have seen like reviews after I did record Vicious, like the my entry on Goodreads. There are like different comments there and reviews saying that it's between two psychopaths and one is more lovable than the other. It's just pretty much a complicated thing, but it was a very quick read actually. That's why even though Vengeful, it's kind of chunkier compared to the first one, I'm excited to read this. Want to like start it immediately after I film this video. Next is another V.E. Schwab book, and probably the last one that I have a physical copy of. This is A Darker Shade of Magic. I got this secondhand, and it's still such good condition. The only problem is here at the top, I guess. It's kind of a bit scrunched, and one of the corners, like this one, is dented, but still, for its price, it was a good price. And this time, for this one, I have no idea what this is about, except that there are different types of magic in this world, and I think the main character is peddling, yeah, smuggles types of magic. Is it? I am not really sure, but the main character is like a smuggler of some sort of like magic and such. So I don't want to really read into what the synopsis is and such, but having like finished Vicious, I can now say that V.E. Schwab, somehow the writing style I like very much. And if ever I also would like really like this book, this is part of the Shades of Magic series art trilogy. I'm going to buy the second and third book if I like the first one. So yeah, that is so far for like the physical copies that I have for the month of May. And then next I will put out like photos of the ones that I have for digital copies as well as audiobooks. So we shall begin with audiobooks because I'm just going to lump in all of the V.E. Schwab books. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is one of them. I have heard so much about this, somehow like quite mixed signals of whether or not people like this. I think this is some sort of like deal with the devil situation wherein she somehow exchanged her like people able to, she's like cursed, like maybe to live forever in exchange for people not being able to remember her. I think that is the whole gist of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And the next for audiobook here is the first book of the Cruel Prince trilogy. I have heard so much about the Cruel Prince and how it is good. I think this is young adult, I am not sure. However, all of the booktubers that I really enjoy watching enjoy this series, so I want to dip in my toes for the first book to see if it's really my type of like story. And if it is, then we shall see how I will acquire the next few books. And then now we proceed to all of my digital copies. I do have like, I did start How to Solve Your Own Murder. I should have been saying the name of the author, right? The Cruel Prince trilogy is by Holly Black. How to Solve Your Own Murder is from Kristen Perrin. So this is the book that I am buddy reading with a friend from high school. We do love our detective stories and mystery thrillers, and he chose this book for us to buddy read until the end of May. And I will try to ask him of his own reactions. I could probably add it to the wrap-up of May if I get the chance. Next we have here in the lineup for my digitals is The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. It is historical fantasy about a nurse, I guess, who is searching for her brother, and then like this hospital has a lot of like ghosts and such, and somehow this is also like a heartwarming tale. I'm not sure, but I am pretty much interested in like when it comes to horror that is like in a setting of like hospital or like medical staff is part of the story, like a very gothic horror type of story, then I'm really much interested in that. And next we have here is What Feast at Night by Taking Fisher. This is the second book in the Sworn Soldier series. So I don't know if this also is like a retelling of another like story of some sort, because the first book in this, which is What Moves the Dead, is a retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's The Fall of the House of the Ushers, I guess is the title. And this one, we are also following the same main character, I guess, Alex Easton, who is a retired soldier in his travels into different parts of Galicia. And it's just like weird, grotesque, and also like scientific at points sort of short story. I was planning on reading this because it's very short and I just want something like maybe an in-between after all of like heavy books and heavy classics. So that is like my hoping I won't get a reading slump type of book to read. Another one that I have here, which I don't think I'm going to get around to unless I am in the mood to do it. It is The Final Empire, which is part of the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. I really want to try Brandon Sanderson books because a lot of people have praised for this author and I just want to try it out. However, I know that his books are quite on the chunkier side. I do enjoy like fantasy and also sci-fi, so I am like trying a little bit of like different authors that are very much famous in that genre. So we'll see if I am going to get around to it. If I happen to like read a few chapters into it, I'm calling it a win. And the last one that I have here actually is a manga which I really much adore the anime of, and I really want to get around to reading the manga because I see that it is finished. I am actually quite tempted to buy like the whole series, manga series, physically because I found it in our local bookstore last week actually, and they are quite expensive and it's 13 volumes. So I'm thinking that I will try to find like an online streaming platform situation for manga, and that is Hell's Paradise. So Hell's Paradise is like a very religious type of like horror, because it is like we have here Gabimaru, who is a assassin for hire, like a killer that is being on death row, and all of the inmates that are like criminals in death row are given a chance to be pardoned by the government if or was it the shogun, I guess, if they bring back like the fruit or like the elixir of life situation from this island wherein even plants are carnivorous, and it's like a magical place, but it's also like hellish. And at the point in the anime, I guess they are already in the island fighting for their lives and trying to like discover, and they are being told what the elixir of life is made of. And I'm really much interested in like those types of grotesque sort of anime, and I can't wait for second season, so I just want to like read it immediately. The art style was beautiful. I really like how in the anime, the colors, the animation, the pacing, I just love it. It's amazing, and I really do recommend it if you're not like squeamish. So yeah, mostly magic, horror, mystery, thriller, which is like my style anyway. So yeah, that is all of the books that I have for my May TBR. I'm going to count it up here too. 4, 6, 8, 10. So we have 10 books, 1 novella, 1 manga, and 1 collection of short stories. And that is it for this video. I hope you enjoy. I will leave the link down in the description for my April wrap up once it is up, because I think this is going to go up before my April wrap up. But I hope you look forward to that video because there are a lot of ranting that is going to happen. I have yet to film it, but I am already like scripting the rant in my head. So anyway, that is it. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next video. So until then, guys, take care and bye.